What's going on, gamers? I hope everybody is enjoying SDAT. Or not SDAT. Alright, fire this guy. This guy sucks. I hope everybody's enjoying Speed Ducks. AKA KitsuneAid. AKA KitsuneAid. I am having a great day so far today. I had a nice little breakfast with my wife. I had a nice little card show that I got to go to that was real local here. And now I'm home. I got to watch most of Mario RPG, which was fun. I got to watch most of Pokemon Scarlet, which was great. Quo always does a great job. I think it's just something about people with usernames that start with Q. I think that really makes it for people. I'll go ahead and give a quick reminder about what we're donating towards in terms of rewards here. So first of all, as we have had all weekend, you can donate $5 to add a duck to the pool and name it, or name one of the ducks that are existing in the pool. And we also still have the poll open for Mario Party Superstars to choose the characters. Right now in the lead is DK, second place Yoshi, and third place Rosalina, though Daisy is behind Rosalina by 69 cents, so it would easily take over in the top three. And the top three is what matters for that one, because the top three are advancing. In addition to that, we have CJ Wears a Duck costume as an incentive. That is sitting at $314 out of 500. And you're going to want to see CJ in a duck costume. It's been hyped up to me so much. I'm very ready to see that. Quacklevel also starts with a Q. That's true. Maybe one of these days I'll buy a costume. I've never bought a costume. In case you don't know what we're raising money for, by the way, we are raising money for Kitsune, our friend Kitsune of Dreams in the chat. She needs to buy the supercomputer of all supercomputers, and so we're raising up to $1 billion right now. Up to. We're not going to go past that. Just so that she can buy, you know, like some major corporation and be able to get all of the computer. Oh, and I did forget to mention with the rewards here, if we get $40 more, we are going to unlock more bonus weekend. I don't actually know what the next thing that's being unlocked is. Let me see if I can find that. Kit, do you know what the next thing is? Yes, CC doing Ocarina of Time. Yes, that is the next one. I do see that now in the super secret group chat that we have for all the people that are helping with the event. You know, all that place where we talk about all the people that are doing a fantastic job behind their back. You know? It's mostly just CJ giving us information, if I had to be honest with you. But we do talk about people doing a great job a lot of times. All right, CC doing Ocarina of Time rando. That'll be a very fun watch. So we do want to unlock that for bonus weekend. I know I got unlocked at some point for doing Chameleon Twist. Thinking about not practicing. Thinking about just going in completely raw, just zero practice since like, I don't know. I think it was like August of last year. What do you guys think? You think I should just go in, do zero practice? I've only played the game for like 12 years in a speedrunning fashion. A fun fact, CJ has not told me what category I'm doing. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I almost don't want to know. I kind of want to like just show up. Hey, by the way, you're doing all levels. Oh, okay. Alright, it looks like they need me for some audio checkup, so I will be right back. Alright guys, I have been given the confirmation. We are ready for Yohane the Parhelion, Blaze in the Deep Blue by Leah. So we're going to go ahead and send it off. All right, everybody. We are here with Leah and Yohane the Parhelion. Go ahead and take it away and tell us what we're going to see here.
Hello. I was here yesterday with Diddy Kong Racing, and yeah, I'm back with a. Okay, this game's got a really long title. You might know this game better as John. And we're going to refer to it as John for short because, you know, going fast in speech is just as important as going fast in the video game. Little quick overview, this game is a Metroidvania. I'm not really a Metroidvania person, but the reason I played this game is because it's based on the Love Live series, which is an anime series. And it's a lot of fun. I'm not going to waste any more time, I'm just going to get right into this. So I'm going to get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. So real quick about the category. The category is all upgrades, but don't worry about what the upgrades are at the moment. We're basically going to be playing this like an any % run for the first half of it, so for like the first half hour. Only then will the upgrades part become relevant. But yeah, so the majority of the run is going to be, for the majority of a run, our movement is going to be slide chaining. So normally a slide will last about 2/3 of a second, but if you rhythmically press the button about once every half second, you can continue sliding without having to restart it every time. So this is way, way faster than, you know, having to start and stop slides every time. We just crafted our weapon, the guitar. We've pretty much got two kinds of weapons to work with. We've got a partner attack, like this, the wolf lilaps. Whoops. And we also have our actual weapon attack, which in this case is the guitar. The guitar deals more damage, but lilaps has a bigger range. Of course, this is going to change when we get new weapons later on, but for the time being, this is what we do. And it's precisely why I attack with the guitar first, because the fact that it does more damage means that it can sometimes one-shot these enemies, which is very nice for us. So you want to attack with the guitar first. And we've immediately gone into what are called the randomized rooms, or the warp rooms. So, as the name implies, these are randomized. The layouts are random, and also the amount of rooms you get is random. So, yeah, a lot of RNG in this game. It's not just these rooms either. There's plenty more where that came from. You can get between 2 and 5 rooms. The final room will be marked with a golden portal. I can damage boost through these guys. Like that, that's the golden portal, that's the last room. One shot again. And we just got a musical score. That is a surprise tool that will help us later. I'm not going to worry about it for now. For now, then we're going to go and fight our first boss. So we have 2 attacks, and we're going to attack most things in the beginning of the game by alternating between them. Each attack has a cooldown, but we can actually avoid the cooldown by alternating our attacks. The other thing is that you'll notice I'm jumping before I'm attacking, because the attack animation is slightly shorter in the air, so we can basically attack more quickly, and it's actually quite noticeable as well. We progress the fight quite a bit more quickly just by jumping before our attacks. No problemo. She says no problemo instead of no problemo. It's actually just Spanish for no problemo. It isn't, I made that up. You can actually play this game in Spanish and a bunch of other languages, but I'm playing it in English because I'm... You need to actually read text in this game, so like, playing it in a different language is kind of difficult unless of course you speak it. For now, the second area, Grotto, is not one we're going to complete yet. We're going to pass through this area a couple times without completing it, and come back here at various points in the run. We also rescue the partner for beating that boss. You get that whenever you complete any world. The partners are not all created equal. The one we rescued in Sunken Temple was Chica, and she is regrettably not very useful. She's pretty much like, does some stuff in the overworld and is used for one boss, and that's kind of it, unfortunately. But some of the other partners are very, very useful. But for the time being, we're just gonna pass through this area. This room, you cannot get underneath this crab when you're playing at 60 FPS. However, if you go to the speedrun.com leaderboards for this game, you'll notice there is a category, or a subcategory for 120 FPS. On the PC version of the game, and some console versions, I think the PS4 for example, you can play the game in 120 FPS, and that has a few effects. It lets you actually slide more quickly, and on 120 FPS you can actually slide underneath that massive crab that hit me about 30 seconds ago by this point. Moving on though, we've got a bit of a sequence break here. One of the few in the game. By attacking with the katana repeatedly, we can stall in the air. Usually need about 16 attacks. That was 16, yeah. To get over to this platform. And that is an item we're not supposed to get until we kind of finish this area, but getting there right now saves about a minute of backtracking we'd have to do later. Which is real nice. So this is kind of one of the only places where Sheik is very useful, because she can break down this guy's shield. So the main kind of idea with bosses in this game is to just break down their defenses and attack them as much as we can. That is like, get in really close, and really up close and personal, kind of be confident, get as many hits in as you can. There's a lot of risk involved. Not so much with these early bosses, but definitely with the later ones. Also making use of invincibility frames here. I'm not gonna boost through this guy. That poison stuff, if I touch that with my current health, that is basically just guaranteed death on the spot, so I really should not do that. On the other hand, these massive boulders do hardly anything to my health, which is really weird. Like, I gotta be careful here actually. You might have noticed that all of the damage rolls in this game, both the ones you deal and the ones you take, are randomized. That's another factor of RNG. So sometimes enemies can kill you and sometimes they won't, so you've got to be careful, always keep that in mind. And sometimes you'll kill enemies more quickly than you normally would. Whoops, it's kind of slow. I assumed he would put up a shield there, so I got Sheik out, but that is not what he did. Doesn't normally do that attack in this second fight here. This is a weird boss, it's the only one you fight 3 separate times. We got one more round with him. Another boulder room here. These tiny ones do the same amount of damage as the massive ones from earlier did, which is confusing. For safety, I'm going to go grab this save point here. Save points are very, very useful. They refill all of your health and also DP, darkness points. We'll get to those later. You can also return to them at any point in the game from anywhere on the map. So very, very useful for quick travel. Some of them we get just for that reason, some of them we get for the heal, some of them we get for both. Oh, usually a Katar will one-shot these guys, but got kind of unlucky with the damage roll there. This room right here, we have a chest here. We do not. If I had a chest on the second kind of level there, it would have contained a very nice item to have. Not one that we can't get later, but it would have been nice to have. But not a problem. Already pretty questionable room RNG, we're already looking at 4 rooms there. Can we make it 5? Please don't. Okay, it's 4. That's better than 5. Still not very good though. You know, the naive assumption is that if all numbers of rooms are equally like these, so 2, 3, 4 and 5, naive assumption is you get an average of 3.5 rooms each time. 9 sets of warp rooms in the game, so an average of 31.5 warp rooms per run. Lowest anyone's gone is 23, my best is 24. But yeah, generally, based on like that 3.5 average, people are usually not very happy if they get 4 rooms or more. But we're generally pretty chill if we get 3 or 2, especially 2. But of course, it also depends what room layouts you actually get, because some are quite fast and some are not. There is a free demo of this game, which you should try out if you're interested. And that demo ends right there, about 10 minutes into the game. But we've got a lot more game left. Our second partner here, or third overall, but second one we rescued is Kanon. She is also not very useful, unfortunately. This is about the only set of enemies we use her to kill. Those guys can drop a nice item, but none of them dropped it. Oh well. Oh yeah, I've got no idea what this game has to do with ducks, but it takes place underwater. That's close enough, right?
It works for me.
This area is a bit of a step up compared to the other areas we've been to so far. Oh dear. See, that was dangerous. That guy could have killed me there if I got an unlucky roll. I tried to get past him with my invincibility frames, didn't quite make it. Yeah, this is Sunken Volcano, and it's quite a step up from the areas we've been in so far. Enemies hit quite hard here. I said this is definitely one of the harder areas in the game, relative to like how strong we are when we get to it. Not the hardest though. These warp rooms can be an issue though. Oh, this is a weird one. I don't get this one very often. That's not that bad. Nice room to get here. These guys are important. They drop, or can drop an item, which I have not gotten from that one. An item I really want to get. Wow, very, very unlucky with drop RNG so far. That guy hits really hard, so you generally don't want to get hit by him. Let's just tank a hit here, because we're going to go to a save point anyway. We can skip this save point to save a couple seconds, but most of the time you want to take it just because it's kind of a dangerous section up ahead, and you usually have your health whittled down a little bit by both the beginning of Volcano, the warp rooms, and also the end of Ruins can whittle your health down a little bit. We have 2 more of these axe guys here. Really would like them to drop something like that. That's exactly what we want, the Great Axe Fragment. Okay, there we go, that's kind of making up for it. So there's Great Axe Fragments, we just got 2 of them. We need 3 by like about 20 minutes into the run. We only need 1 more, and there are 2 more, no, actually 3 more we're going to encounter without having to farm them, which is neat. Depending on our luck with warp rooms, we might even encounter another one on top of that. But, you know, assuming it's a 50-50 chance, we should hopefully get that last fragment without having to farm. There is one other item I'm looking for, and which I've failed to keep track of so far. And it's usually a lot more elusive. I have seen it pop up at least a couple times though. We're gonna actually leave Volcano shortly, not before we get to this chest. So that chest we just opened gave us the ability to double jump, which is obviously a very big improvement to our mobility. Which is real nice. And that thing we got at the start of Ruins that we did a sequence break for, that lets us walk underwater, which lets us get to this area in the first place. So these are the Grotto Warp Rooms. And they're pretty easy. Like, quite honestly, Grotto is a very easy location generally. Okay. See if this guy drops the item. No, he did not. Oh, I gotta be really careful here. I wasn't careful and suddenly I'm like on almost no health. And it's not the last room either. Okay, it's a very short room. I'll be very careful here. Oh, I almost wasn't careful enough. Still not the last room. Yep. I've had really bad room RNG so far. Thankfully this is the last room, but I've got to be careful. What have we had, like 3, 4 so far in the rooms? That's, I guess, technically average, but not very good still. Okay, there we go. That's what I was fishing from those guys, is the aiming lens. That can help us to make an item that will be really useful for us, although I don't know if I have the other ingredients now that I think about it. Oh well. If I don't make it, it's not the end of the world. Not everyone gets it. Maybe if you're going for world record, it's kind of the end of the world if you don't get it. We're actually going to head back to the Fortune Parlor here, which is kind of where you go here if you die, but it also doubles as a shop. Which is weird if you think about it, because this is our Fortune Parlor. Why do we have to buy potions from ourselves? I did not want to buy a regular health potion there. I should have bought 3 greater ones. Oh well, that's fine. That won't kill us. Unless, of course, it kills us, in which case it would kill us. But it's not going to. So right here, let's see what we can make. We've got a few items. Fluffy coat's kind of the best thing we can make here. A very nice accessory. Also going to bust an offense talisman. This will increase our attack power. This is the last boss we're going to be fighting with just our Katara and Lilaps. We will get some better attacks after this boss. This is the first boss where we're trying to get like really up close and personal. To try and land in as many hits as possible, because our hits are not very strong yet. We kind of need to land a lot of hits to kill this guy. There we go. That was a decent fight. So for this we are going to unlock our 4th partner, Daya, and she is very, very useful. So she will kind of serve as an upgraded version of Lilaps. She can attack more quickly, she does a triple hit combo attack, and she also is stronger than Lilaps. There is still one advantage Lilaps has though, and that's range. Daya attacks pretty much straight ahead of her, whereas Lilaps attacks kind of all around her, so can even attack through floors. So Lilaps will still be used, but Daya in general is going to be way more helpful for getting rid of enemies like that. Intentionally wait a little bit there for that crab to land, so we can jump right over it. All this talk about Daya, but we're actually going to be using Chica here very briefly. One of the few other uses she has. Oh dear, this is bad. Oh, never mind. I will do it just outside his hitbox. Stuns that guy so we can get to his chest more easily. That gives us an extra accessory slot. So right here, we need to get an axe, guys. There we go, we got a fragment. We don't need to kill this guy. We have the 3 fragments we needed. I don't like that my defense has been reduced, because we're going into quite a difficult area. Hopefully that doesn't cause too many problems for me. Switching back to Lilaps here, just because there's these 2 pots here I can break with her. Okay, this is a fine room to get. I think my debuff should wear off and I shouldn't take too much damage in this room, if any. We're going to be doing our best to break as many of these crates as we can because, yeah, there's the debuff gone. They can have a very important item, which is that tide light you might have seen on the side of my screen just then. We need 5 of those. I hate this room. Well, rather these rooms. There are 2 rooms that look like this. They look basically identical. Okay, we guessed correctly. There's another variant of this room that looks exactly the same. Oh, like this. And has the exit on the other side. No way to tell which one you got. That's actually a pretty good shipwreck warps, I'm not gonna lie. That can go way worse than that did, right there. That's like one of the most annoying parts of the run. Very easy to take a death in shipwreck warps. But yeah, we got pretty lucky there. Finally some good room RNG. That's some pretty bad RNG to start out with, but that's better. We're going to keep going here. We're still looking out for tide lights. I think we need like 2 or 3 more still, because we need 5 total. We've had at least 2 appear this run so far. Might have had 1 more that I didn't catch, because I have a bad habit of not keeping track of them when I really should. Got a couple more crates we can break here, but we're most likely going to have to farm. Oh, there's another one. This is a crucial area right here. We might have to bust a health potion. You know, I'm not going to lie, I would like to get rid of that regular health potion I accidentally bought. So this would be a good time to do so. Oh wow, I'm getting really low rolls on these guys. These guys can hit super hard, but I got really low rolls on them. Okay. So what we're going to do here, because we've not got enough tide lights yet, we're going to farm for a little bit on these crates. This is kind of the fastest way to farm tide lights. We're going to return to the save point whenever we need to farm again, and that will respawn all the crates. Keep going until we see a nice exclamation mark appear on the top of the screen, because that will tell us we have enough tide lights to make the thing. But while I'm doing that, do the hosts have any messages for us?
So we haven't gotten donation during the run yet so far, so people should do that. But why should they do that? For Kit, we are raising money for Kitsune of Dreams to get a new computer, and we're also trying to meet certain incentives so that you guys get more content, including a bonus weekend 2 weeks from yesterday. I think it's 2 weeks from yesterday. And we want to see Ocarina of Time done by CC in a randomized fashion.
So we happened to get tide lights right as I was saying that. So with those Buster Sword fragments and, well, Great Axe fragments and tide lights, we were able to make the Buster Sword, which is what I'm using right now. It is straight up the strongest weapon in the game. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And we have gotten it 20 minutes into the game. So combining Buster Sword with Gaia means we can do way more damage than we ever could before. That's really nice. We also popped an offense talisman during that fight. That was the second one we got. I think it's such a complicated route. Popped an offense talisman in that fight to get that boss down a bit more quickly. That boss can only take damage in its core phase. You can get it down in 2 core phases, but most of the time you'll have to use 3 like I did there, which is fine. But yeah, we just rescued our 5th partner, Hanamaru, and we've actually gone back to the parlor and then not bought any potions, and then suddenly we're back in ruins. What's going on? Well, one thing that happens if you rescue a partner and then return to the parlor, they will give you a quest, and that will spawn an item in the dungeon for you to collect. In the case of Hanamaru, it's this suspicious-looking laptop. And if you then find that and return to the parlor again, you will get an upgraded ability for your partner. So Hanamaru's upgraded ability is so useful, we're going to get it right now, right after rescuing her. And then suddenly we're going to go back to Volcano, because we never really finished off Volcano, so I'm going to quickly do that. And Hanamaru's new ability will be very helpful for us when we're doing that. But yeah, pretty quick detour to Volcano here. Nothing else we're really looking to do here other than just finish off the boss here. Without this new ability, this would have taken us a lot longer, so it's kind of imperative that we do this now, especially because the next part of the game is locked behind us anyway. We need to finish Volcano to continue with the game, so... I am going to take a safe one here, just for safety. I could totally skip it because you don't generally take too many hits in this fight, but I will take it to be safe. Because we're not on like Wolfracker pace or anything, far from it. So you might have wondered what that laptop was for. Don't worry about it. Hanamaru is not the best with technology. So sometimes when she tries to use technology, things can happen. Those who have watched the Love Live Sunshine anime know. If you combine that with a Buster Sword, that lets us detonate the laptop pretty much immediately. It's real nice. That's gonna miss, I think. Gonna let that blow up in his face. Probably gonna have to go to another cycle here. It's quite a slow fight, unfortunately. It can go way quicker than what I got here, but I've kind of messed up the fight, unfortunately. So, I'm in the center. There we go. Now he's dead. You can get a quick kill on that fight. Unfortunately, we got like the furthest thing possible from that. Those fireballs that he drops, if you do it just right, you can have it so that those fireballs enter the explosions hitbox. And what kind of happens then is that every single fireball will reactivate the explosions hitbox. And if that explosion is encompassing the boss, which it should be, that essentially means he hits himself with an explosion several times and can sometimes just immediately die or be like 1 or 2 hits away from dying. So very, very quick if you get it, like 30 to 40 seconds faster than what I got there. So yeah. But now we're done with that, we rescued our partner Riko, and she will allow us to continue with this area, which for the record, this is my favourite area in the game, Sea of Trees. I love this area. Fight me. Riko's ability is to break through ice walls, or rather melt them, and there are quite a few of those in this location, so yeah. I'm going to do a bit of weird movement here, kind of not the most intuitive movement. Oh, somehow got it. Jumping over that guy is not the easiest thing. There is a ceiling you can very easily bump into and lose your speed when trying to jump over him, therefore resulting in hitting him. Whoops. What am I doing? I still need Riko. Right here, we're going to actually pick up Dire's upgrade, because we've also returned to Parhelion since getting Dire. So her quest has been active, we're going to get her upgrade right now. And yes, that's what the upgrades in all upgrades is. That essentially means we're going to get the upgrades for every character in the game, all of our partners. Whereas for any percent we would only get a few of them. In fact, the only 2 we would get would be Hanamaru's and Dire's, the very 2 we've gotten so far. So yeah, for the first half of the run, this category is actually exactly the same as any percent. It's only in the second half that it diverges. So quite often what I like to do is have any percent and all upgrades both submitted as to a marathon, and then have it like kind of as a category upgrade incentive. That's a very fun one to do. Beatrice's warp rooms can be weird. Some of these rooms can be really short and some of them can be really long. We'll just kind of see what we get here. None of them are super hard to do. This is a really short one. Some of them are literally like 1 screen long. This is a mid-length room. If I have iframes, I might as well use them. Is this our last one, or have we got more? That is our last room, and I'm nearly dead. We're fine. If that was not my last room, I probably would have died. I'm not gonna lie. What am I saying? I literally have health potions to work with, I'll be fine. We've gone to the parlour literally just to return Dire's item to her, because we're going to use it for the boss. We are not buying any potions. I mean, I guess you could if you wanted, but we're not going to buy any potions this time. So this is Dire's upgrade. It's called Scarlet Delta, and it is basically exactly what it looks like, a very powerful attack that goes right across the screen, does not stop at anything, and can also break crates and pots for us. And this is pretty much like the second strongest single attack in the game behind the laptop. The thing is, the laptop is usually too slow to use, so we can't really spam the laptop. But we can spam this in combination with the Buster Sword, which is also a very strong attack. I'm going to tank some of those boulder hits there because we're going to come down to 0 HP actually. Might look scary, kind of is. Might be wondering why I'm suddenly on 0 HP. That's because these special attacks... Ooh, Christ. That was close. Nearly actually ended up dead there. But thankfully I killed him in time. Whenever we use those special attacks, especially the laptop, sword, and Scarlet Delta, those use up a lot of our DP. And effectively what happens when you run out of DP, it doesn't just prevent you from using the attacks, you can use them as much as you want. However, what does happen is that it will start taking the equivalent DP from your HP instead. But even then, it doesn't actually kill you, it just takes you down to 0 HP, well, 1 HP, but it will not kill you. You can continue to attack as much as you please, so long as you don't take a single hit. And that is the state we're going to be getting into with a lot of these later bosses here. Oh yeah, that is one of the things I really love about this game, is the risk-reward kind of dynamic we got going here. Because you can pummel bosses as much as you please, as long as you don't take a single hit yourself. This might take a bit. Partner we rescued was Yo. Oh wow, I'm really sucking at this today. There we go. Partner we rescued was Yo. She shoots us out of a cannon. It's a very efficient form of movement, and in a lot of cases it's going to be our new fastest form of movement. She can also make us fit through one tile high gaps like that. So we can kind of sequence break this part. We're not supposed to be able to get here until like near the end of the game, but we're doing it right now. This basically gives us Yo's upgrade, which we want early because it's very, very useful. It upgrades her cannon to basically be invincible, and also be slightly faster. So now that's out of the way, we're gonna head back into Grotto and commence the second half of the run. So this is officially the point at which any percent actually diverges from wall upgrades, because any percent... Well, first of all, wouldn't have gone out of the way to get upgraded Yo in the first place, because it's a bit slower for any percent. But we are going to pick up an upgrade that is in Grotto real quick. There we go. A lot of the upgrades from this point don't really serve any practical purpose for us, but we just need to get them as part of completing the category. The three main upgrades we have now for Yo, Hanamaru and Dire are pretty much all we need to be really powerful now. So going back into a set of warp rooms, Grotto has the interesting distinction of being the only area with 2 sets of warp rooms. The thing is though, he's supposed to come here much sooner in the game, so these warp rooms are kind of pathetically easy compared to some of the things we're going to be playing afterwards. Like, I feel like you're supposed to do this before even completing Shipwreck, but we're doing it now, so none of the enemies really pose any threat to us. And the warp room's also very short. Just a bit more platforming here, and then we're pretty much done with Grotto for the rest of the run. We're not coming back here after this. Bye-bye, Grotto. So we are now in the 7th area, Coral Hill. I would say this is easier than Shipwreck, for sure. Like, we're about the same difficulty as Shipwreck in terms of strength of the enemies, but like, in terms of how strong we are now, this is like one of the easier locations. One of the more fun ones as well, because it has a lot of just raw platforming. The little thing about Shipwreck, I would say it is by far the hardest part of the run, and definitely the most crucial in terms of RNG as well. I usually suck at this. I'm not bad at lining up that shot, but trying to do it on Pro Controller, on Switch, for some reason I really struggle to latch onto the wall sometimes. There is a visual key for this, I promise. Yeah, for some reason on Switch I have the hardest time ever trying to latch onto the wall, compared to if I'm playing on PC. I don't know why, but anyway. Yeah, Shipwreck is a really rough location generally. But I'm glad it's early in the run at least. But yeah, the RNG requirement and just the likelihood of dying depending on your RNG as well, really rough. But yeah. We're already approaching the boss here in Coral Hill. We don't have to get any upgrades while we're here. At least not right now. Oh, that didn't kill. Wow. That is supposed to kill, and it didn't. I did not need to use upgraded gear though. Owing purely to the fact that I've got reduced attack power right now, I'm actually going to go and get a save point here. One of the other things that save points do is they remove any, status effects. Or negative status effects. Which is obviously quite nice if you happen to be inflicted with one. This is a really messy Coral Hill, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. This boss is the biggest pushover in the game. Straight up, I have, like, there's nowhere else I can put it, this is the absolute biggest pushover. You literally dodge all but like 3 of his attacks by just crouching in place. And for one of those other ones you literally just have to do a single slide in the other direction. And he's already dead. Like, there is almost nothing challenging about that boss fight. Which is nice for a break. We rescue Ruby, who is regrettably kind of useless. She doesn't really do a whole lot. We have to use her one time, but aside from that we don't really do anything with her. But with that out of the way, we are going into the final location, Crystalline Grotto. Whoops, I did not mean to go into that room. Immediately going back to the parlor here, just so we can get Ruby's quest activated, because Ruby's quest, or her item, is actually in Crystalline Grotto, so we can fetch it while we're here. And it also lets us heal. You don't have to actually touch the save point to be able to return to it later, you just have to enter the room it's in. Honestly, not too much I can say about Crystalline Grotto, other than the fact that, like, for the other categories, the secret categories as I like to call them, all chests and map completion, they're not on speedrun.com, but I routed and ran them. This is by far the most complicated location in those categories. There's like so many layers to this area that you don't see in any percent or all upgrades. is really intriguing, but also like kind of infuriating to like route anything. Also, this category should totally be on Screener.com. Oh, whoa! Did not mean to get caught on that. John Runners in chat, please learn all chests map completion. It'll make me very happy. We could just kind of damage boost through these guys, we don't really care a whole lot. They don't do hardly anything to us now. So these warp rooms are kind of a mixed bag. Some of them are pretty easy, some of them are less so. Some of them you have to use Rico for, like this. Definitely involves the most partner swaps out of any set of warp rooms. Which makes sense now that we have like all of them. Well, all but one of them. There we are. That's our penultimate set of warp rooms done, we got one more after this. Ah! Oh, how did I not take damage there? Going down here to pick up Ruby's item. You might think we'd head that way, but no, we're going to go back. Or you might think we'd go down on that bottom path down there. We're not actually going to do that. We're going to go back up and then go the any % path instead, because that is actually faster, even in all upgrades. I'd argue even especially in all upgrades, because you can do this in this room instead of doing a weird combination of using Scarlet Delta and regular Yo to get through that room, which is a lot slower and less consistent. Yeah, real nice. I need to be careful here. Okay, we're fine. I'm going to do something fairly overconfident here. I'm going to skip the save point. If I die and lose like 2 minutes to this, that's on me. But hopefully I shouldn't. So this is the boss of Crystalline Grotto. We're going to see about 4 phases of this. In these first 2 phases, just want to get 4 rounds of bike plus sword. Get 2 rounds here, send another bike out. Usually you can get another cheeky sword hit, now I didn't go for it. He doesn't die in the first 2. Should die in the 3rd one. And there we are. Pretty simple boss fight, but it can be quite scary if you aren't very practiced with it. Alright. I'm going to return to the parlor. I was going to say one last time, not one last time. We're going to come back here again eventually, but I'm going to activate Mari's quest and also return Ruby's item, because we actually need upgraded Ruby to get one of the items. So we're going to do a round of backtracking here real quick. Going to backtrack to Volcano and then Coral Hill real quick, just to pick up items for Kanon and Mari respectively. While I'm doing that, I might hand back over to Toast for a bit to give my voice a little rest, but also if you guys have any messages.
Absolutely, yeah. Unfortunately, I got signed out of the donation tracker, so I need to get back in there in just a minute. But we do still have the polls and targets going on that we're trying to reach. And so for the polls, we still have the Mario Party Superstars choose the top 3 characters. I believe that's the characters we will be facing. Right now, DK, Yoshi, and Rosalina are the top 3, with Daisy and Peach being close 4th and 5th. For the targets, we do still have the CJ Wears a Duck costume incentive with an open open amount left. It's going to be almost $200 to get CJ to that. We're a little under $200 left on that. So, guys, get your donations in. You will want to see that. And remember, you can put money towards both things at once for the same dollar, as well as get yourself a duck in the pool that has been showing in the intermission screens. So, check it out. Go donate, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
And there we are. Almost got all of the upgrades, yeah? Almost got all of the upgrades now. Got one last one we need to pick up, which is actually in Sunken Temple. Whoops. Not my my messing up my inputs like everywhere. If you're curious, we are switching characters by... Well, I like to switch characters by mapping them to the L and R buttons. You cycle through them in an order, but sometimes you can get a little confused with which character like you're supposed to, or you like input too many times to switch to, and you switch to the wrong character. Sometimes that happens. Gets a little confusing. Usually not too bad though. So we just picked up the very last upgrade, and now the end of the run is basically any %. We've got nothing we have to do from here other than beat the game. So we're going into the final area, which is Infernal Altar. We have 2 items we're looking out for, or rather 1 item we're looking out for 2 of. You can get it from pots. We are looking for Orichalcum, which, aside from being an ore in Terraria, is also a crafting ingredient in this game. Apparently no luck. I should make this shot. Nice. There is a save point here that you can take. I'm going to take this just because, in case I don't get the Orichalcums, which is, to be honest, that's probably going to happen, I can lose much less time if I go back there, rather than having to go back to, like, Sunken Temple and then re-enter Infernal Altar. So, we're out of Orichalcums. We have quite a few more pots to break still, but we're not doing great on Orichalcums yet. So far. Okay, that's fine. Not a problem. Still no Orichalcums. From here, maybe? Nope. Ooh. I'd be mad if this were PB pace, but thankfully it isn't. That's just the experience of running this game sometimes. You don't get all the RNG to come together every run, but whenever it does, it's nice. And grabbing that save point ensures it's not too big of a time loss if we don't get the RNG. Normally this frozen gas would, well, freeze me, but because I have Fluffy Coat on, it actually doesn't do anything to me. Remember Fluffy Coat I made at the very beginning of the run, pretty much? It's still useful now. Yeah, we're actually like still rocking the same accessories that we were using in Shipwreck. Pretty much. Make sure I land on that platform before I use Yo there, so I regain my double jump. Otherwise I would try and fail to double jump, and that black gas would give me Solitude, which is a debuff that means I can't use my partners, which is really bad. But yeah, unfortunately we did not get any Orichalcums, so we're going to have to go back and farm. I don't know for how long, hopefully not too long. I don't need to go that high. Upgraded Yo is a godsend in these randomized rooms here. This is a very scary set of rooms normally if you don't have upgraded Yo, but with her, it's real nice. Oh, actually, this room's not real nice, but the other ones are way nicer with her. But yeah, a mix of killing enemies through the floor here. I have like no health. I'm even gonna pop this 1 health potion here just for safety. Did absolutely nothing, to be fair, because I'm pretty much immediately going to eat all of that DP back up. Yeah, we're safe. Nice. I was mostly bugged by still having that health potion and wanted to get rid of it. You're never supposed to get regular health potions. I'm going to farm money one time. And now I'm going to do some Orichalcum farming. So until we get 2 Orichalcums, yeah, kind of going to be rinse and repeat here for a little bit. Hopefully not too long. Sometimes it's more elusive than others. Oh, there's one. Get back again. Hopefully it doesn't take long to get the second one. I don't know if it's faster to use upgraded Yo there or just do slides, but I need to actually time that. Oh, there we are. In that case, I'm going to go back to the parlour. That's what we need to do. Hard to remember the routes sometimes, but... So by doing this, we not only return every single upgrade that we had, so now all of the upgrades are actually delivered to their respective characters. We're also going to do some last minute shopping here. Just for extra safety, I'm going to pick up 2 health potions, which I really don't need, but just in case some kind of catastrophe happens. So what I did was I picked up one of every offense talisman, as well as a spare regular offense talisman. So right here, I'm going to cast... do not cast Orichalcum Ring. Going to cast the Hot-Blooded Bell, which is like it's the single most important item in the game. Quite honestly. It's the ultimate glass cannon item. It basically doubles our attack damage, but it also doubles the damage we take. Which means we can kill that guy pretty quickly, as well as pretty much anything else in our way now. Though, of course, taking double damage means we can die twice as quickly. Provided we, don't take any stray hits. We were gonna, if we're on 1 HP, we'd die in 1 hit anyway, but, we get down to 1 HP quickly, is the scary part. And that's what we needed the Orichalcum for. You need 2 Orichalcums to make that. You do not want to accidentally make an Orichalcum Ring, which is a regular defensive item. I accidentally did that in the last marathon run I did of this game at Warwick Speedrun about a month ago, so don't do that. But we're nearly done here. So we're going to go through every enemy in the game again, or every boss in the game, except we are now several orders of magnitude stronger than we were when we first fought them. I think they're buffed a little bit, but we are so much stronger that it basically doesn't matter. We shred them all. Now, do you guys remember, way back in some temple like 50 minutes ago, I picked up an item called a musical score? I'm very glad to say I've kept it this whole time. Now, in the next fight, which is the Lava Worm refight, I'm going to do something that might give you a brief heart attack, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. So I just intentionally died. Keyword is intentional because that will bust out our musical score. Might be wondering, what is this musical score, Leah? I'm glad you asked, even if you didn't. It basically, according to people who played Zelda games, which is not me, but everyone who I've talked to has compared this to a Zelda fairy, wherein it revives you with all of your health You also have unlimited DP. And most importantly, every which obviously, as you can imagine for a boss rush, that's really helpful. So yeah, we're gonna be destroying these guys. What I need to do here is actually bust my EX offense talisman now. We want to maintain this talisman all the way until... okay, so next up we got the refight with the Crystalline Grotto boss, and then we got the refight with Cthulhu from Infernal Altar. We really want to keep the EX talisman and musical score into Cthulhu. And we've pretty much done that. The musical score is about to run out, but we will get at least a few super strong hits on Cthulhu here. And there we go, he's gone. That is the boss rush done. And we are coming up on the end of the run. Provided I don't completely mess up, as I have done in like the past 2 marathon runs I've done, those who remember UKSGewd in January. Run should end about like 40 to 50 seconds from now. I'll let you know when time's coming up. Got the final boss here, real quick. It's got 2 phases. We're going to use Laptop for both of them. We have the chance to 1-hit each phase. I'm going to wait to see where he's going. This way. We're going to bust our Prime off the Talisman. Oh, 1 hit like that. Okay. And time. That was a really fast coelacanth, my god. That was fantastic. Super good RNG there. Yeah, I don't know what to say. That came really quickly. That boss has some really rough attacks that can cause you a lot of trouble, but we just killed it really quickly before any of those could come out. So on my end that was a 56-37. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. That was a pretty nice run. I'm very glad I kept the musical score to the end. I usually don't do that. It's quite hard to do that, because of course if you die it activates, so pretty much any part of the run where you could easily take a death, most notoriously Shipwreck and the end of Infernal Altar, you have the chance to lose it, so I'm very glad I kept it because it saves like over 30 seconds in the boss rush and it just looks really cool. This game's really, really fun. I've hinted at RNG a lot of the time. Yes, this game has RNG. That's part of the fun. Quite honestly. Maybe it's not fun losing runs to missing Tide Lights and Gradax Fragments all the time, but very, very fun game. Like, every run's different. Some runs you get certain items, some runs you don't. Yeah, I mean, even though it's a really new game, this only came out 2.5 years ago, late 2023, we've already pushed this game quite far, to be honest. Like, we're squeezing the juice out of this game, we've already kind of got most of it, we're most of the way there. We've had a lot of marathon runs for this game already, including, as of January, well, actually no, as of a month ago, we've had 2 in person now, the UKSG and Warwick Speedrun, so shout out to those 2 marathons as well as every other one that's hosted this game. I don't have much else to say other than this game has a free demo, as I've hinted at during the run. If you want to try it, it has the first 10 minutes of the speedrun. A very easy run to learn in itself. And then the full game is also relatively cheap and goes on sale very often, so it's pretty easy to pick up, and it's also multi-platform. I played it on a Switch, but it's on Steam, it's on PlayStation, Xbox, everything. So yeah, I'm gonna stop yapping and I'm gonna sign out here. Thank you for having me on, both today and yesterday. It's been a blast.
Thank you so much, Leah. We really appreciate it, and thank you for showing off this really cool game. It was really fun. Make sure everybody go follow Leah and stay tuned because we have Eau Claire de la Lune coming up with Piku Niku after this.